As the ASEAN summit wraps up, yet another point of discontent surfaces from the business sector. The Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry got word that the Philippines is not one of the ASEAN nations given tariff perks by President Trump during the sidelines of the ASEAN summit in Kuala Lumpur. Malacanang has since clarified the country opted out of the offer to protect local industries and prioritize food security. And only 3 ASEAN members reportedly accepted the deal in exchange for fully opening their markets to American goods. This adds to growing frustration from business, labor, and civil society groups already demanding accountability and restitution from corrupt practices in government. Well, with us now for more, fresh from Kuala Lumpur, is Chairman George Barcelon of the Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Good seeing you again, George. When did you get back?
Good morning, Kathy. I came back Tuesday.
All right, so that's 48 hours ago. When did you get wind of the no tariff perks handed out by Trump?
Well, that was part of the deal that President Trump offered to the 3 countries because the 3, primarily the conflict between Cambodia and Thailand. And I believe that the Prime Minister of Malaysia, Ibrahim, offered to sort of moderate through the support of President Trump. And we were surprised also because after the signing of the announcement, it was followed up by the agreement on zero tariff for the 3 countries. We were sort of left out in the cold, to be honest. But I heard that there's some reasons for that, according to Department of Trade and Industries and Secretary Frederico. But if you recall, in the last reciprocal tariff that was handed to the Philippines of 19%, we gave them a lot also. The Americans would enjoy zero tariff of many of their products, and also sort of a revival of the Lauro-Langley agreement wherein American companies would be given the same right as Filipinos in exploring our natural resources. Now, I don't know whether those will be worked on. We haven't heard any development on that. But we gave quite a lot also in the previous negotiation. So we hope that we shouldn't be left out in a way that if we can get something more, a reduction on the reciprocal tariff that's imposed on us.
So, George, left out in the cold, but what do you make of the palace's reasoning? Because as far as the palace is concerned, the Philippines opted out. It did not get left out of the tariff perks. It opted out because the government wanted to protect the key industries from being fully open to foreign competition.
I'll go into specifics such as our export to the U.S. and the garments. We've been asking for quite some time whether if we should get a free trade agreement with U.S. So that our export on garments can be given the least tariff or even better, zero tariff. And also our electronic sector, which is our biggest export to the United States. So we would like to have selected sectors or industry that would be given this zero tariff rating for us to be more competitive.
But garments,
now, I don't know the details. I don't know the details of what were given by the other 3 ASEAN countries, but apparently, just hearing that they're getting zero rated seems to that they have some advantage over us.
Garments and electronics not part of the industry cited by Secretary Dec Go. In a statement by the Palace Secretary herself, Claire Castro, said exactly that we're trying to protect several industries in the Philippines, such as rice, corn, sugar, and poultry. What do you make of it?
Yes, that's one of the reasons why we have been dragging our foot on the Indo-Pacific economic framework. Primarily, that may come into effect. So we have heard from the farmers that they should be protected on their side of their sector. I can understand that. So we'll see. We'll see how this pans out.
And do you intend to speak with the government in due course? I mean, what's the next point of action then, feeling left out in the cold?
Well, on the agri sector, I know that there's been clamoring now on the farmer as far as were bringing in more rice. Well, I can understand because we had a typhoon and the flooding in certain areas did affect our volume of harvest. But I'd like to think that the communication with the DTI and the agricultural sector will continue to work out things so that we will not be put at a disadvantageous position.
All right, even before the flood control corruption came up, Trump's tariff took much of our concerns from the start of this year from an initial 17% that became 20%. And then after Marcos's visit at the White House last July, became 19%. And now the government's opt out, or in the business sector's view, left out. What does the business sector make of how the government's handled or is handling Trump's tariff so far?
Well, we have to admit that in dealing with President Trump, it's not a very straightforward negotiation because he does change his mind quite frequently. Whether the rationale behind it is something that we can understand, but we hope that we'll have to really look for other markets to grow our economy. As you said, that what was guaranteed to us is our export of electronics, and wire harness is still given that privileged tariff, so that's good. But other product line such as garments and footwear and fruits, those are things that we'll have to look for other markets to grow.
Well, our trouble with Trump's tariffs goes on top of the foreign investor perception issue that you mentioned on this program before you boarded that flight to KL. What sense did you get from the conversations there on the level of concern over the unresolved governance challenges here?
Well, before I left for the ASEAN meeting, I was surprised because the U.S. State Department came out, and it was published in our newspaper, about the pervasive corruption in our government. And it's the first time I've heard from the official statement from the U.S. about this corruption. So that's already a sign that they are aware of it. And one of the, I believe, politicians from the U.S. Had a private meeting with the ICI. And I can tell that they are holding back a bit, assessing the situation, assessing how this administration is handling it. You mentioned earlier that ICI has come out with a list of names that will be charged for whatever wrongdoing. But that in itself, I think, still falls short of what the public outcry regarding this flood protection corruption.
All right. Well, thank you so much for the updated insights, George. Do get some rest this Undas holiday season. George Barcelon of PCCI.
Thank you, Kathy.